So not the result we were hoping for here at the CFA. It was the first home game of the season in the WSL for Manchester City. We were taking on Brighton, full-time 0-0. Here to help me get into it is Meg Campbell and Aoife Mannion, and of course Natalie Pavlek as well. Thank you for being with us. Meg, we'll begin with you. Very frustrating 90 minutes. I think it felt like we tried all we could, and it just didn't quite go in the back of the net for us today.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think just the end product was missing today from us. I think when Jill did come on, she made a difference going forward. I think a lot more positive actions were taken when she came on the ball and driving through the middle. But yeah, just not our day today.
Aoife, what was your assessment of the 90 minutes?
I think Megan put it really well there. It was a frustrating performance. The chances were there throughout. When Jill came on, it did look like, you know, she was going to be able to help us get it over the line, and it just wasn't the case. I'm sure there'll be lots of reflecting done on this game to ensure that these sort of things don't happen again.
Yeah, it really felt like we dominated, like right from the start all the way through. Certainly, you know, when we see the possession stats and goals stats, and this is a chance that we saw 3 minutes just after half time from Ellen White, and like we say, it felt like we dominated from start to finish. You know, this chance coming, you know, so soon after half time, and it's inches wide there, Meg. I mean, I don't know. Yeah.
This was begging for Ellen White to finish it. You know, this is an Ellen White special. Like, these are the types of goals that she likes to score. And that seems to have summed up the performance, really. Lots of really good chances where on any other day you would say that it was nearly a given, that it was going to go in the back of the net.
What do you, I mean, this is a question for you both, and Meg, I'll start with you, but what is it that you put that down to? Because I think it's safe to say, us, any Manchester City fan, this is a feeling we're very much used to. You know, we see all our teams dominate possession, control possession, create the chances, but it just never quite come out with the win.
I think we also need to give credit to Brighton. I think they came out, they've done a lot better than probably we were expecting as a team, maybe. They are quite defensively very organised, very physical, but they also had an attacking threat, and I think that made our problems at the back, like having to sit back a little bit to be aware of their counter-attack. But yeah, they were physical. They did prevent us from, and they stopped the breakdown that they had of so many chances that we could have possibly created. Was incredible, and they worked hard for each other, and you can hear it from the sideline, like they're constantly cheering each other on, constantly shouting at each other, and their togetherness clearly got them that point today. It's a frustrating one for us, because when you come up against opponents like that who at the end they're wasting the time, it's okay if you're on the side that's doing it, but when it's not happening, then you start to get, are you getting caught up in it? And yeah, it's one of them of, yeah, you try and stay away from it, but yeah, full credit to Brighton. I think they did come out and give us the right game today.
Yeah, and we're going to have a look at another chance that we had now as well. I mean, when we see the stats later on about the amount of chances that we had, it really does feel like such a missed opportunity today. Of course, we're seeing huge results for Chelsea and Arsenal this weekend. But like you say, with Brighton, it really felt like they were celebrating at the end there. You know, every time they got the ball, everything, every block, every tackle, they were cheering, they were celebrating. That point is absolutely massive to them. But on a weekend, especially when we're seeing our nearest rivals dominate, it does really feel like a missed 2 points drop today, Aoife.
Yeah, I mean, look, we can give credit to Brighton and we can say that they were hard to beat, but when we look at them chances, Janine has to put that away. You know, that's the level of club that we're at. She has to score them, and if she doesn't, then we have to look at ourselves and not so much what Brighton were doing. Of course, their subs, should I say, were cheering every tackle and every pass as though it was the last game of the season, and that's just where they're at, and you can't knock their togetherness. And I think maybe it did add into the psyche a little bit. Maybe it did add this level of tension, this level of intensity that perhaps wouldn't have been the case if we'd managed to get a goal earlier in the game. But that's what we were dealing with, and you could see them chances were still going through the game, and you just have to score them.
I wanted to ask, on that chance that we just saw there, I don't know if we can play that again. I'm speaking to my friends up in the gallery there, my producers. But I felt like there was a penalty claim.
Yeah,
there,
I did feel like the left back was quite close for contact throughout a lot of the game today. And I do maybe agree with Aoife in that, yeah, we need to be finishing them chances where we're in on goal from 6 yards out. You know what I mean? You're always going to get a physical defender who's going to try and put you off. But she was a bit too close for comfort. I did think she was pulling Janine as Janine went to take the shot.
Maybe right at the start, you can see her hands are around her. She's firstly, she's the wrong side of Janine, isn't she? And she knows that, and she's trying to get back into position. Do I think that that's why the reason why Janine didn't score? No, I think she should have scored it anyway. I think there was still enough time and space for her to do better than that.
It felt like as well there was a slight change of shape. I mean, it was, as you say, Jill coming on seemed to give it a whole different feel. But I think we moved Georgia up just towards a more central role, which I know you touched upon at half-time, is naturally where she sits, which kind of gave us a bit of a different feel moving forward. Have we got that within the team where you can actually rotate between a few different formations because of the versatility in players? Yeah,
definitely. I think we've got players, like you said, you've got Chloe Kelly who can play in multiple positions up front. You've got Ellen White who can do so. Georgia. Kaz does. There's so many players that can play in different roles, and it does give you versatility. But I also think then you need to, when you're in the different positions, like nail them down. And it can be difficult when you're changing position to position throughout the game. Like Georgia had a lot more of a free role in the winger in the first half, and then when she moved to the 9, you've got to be a lot more like structured and like stay away from the play, and that can be quite hard sometimes. But I don't know.
Sticking and off that, what you're saying there about kind of finding that role, I think it's important to remember as well. There were 4 kind of new players there that started the game today, and to say that it seems pretty seamless with the way that we play. I just wondered what you made of the whole 90 minutes of kind of a few of our new signings. Of course, we have Lucy as well, but we know lots about Lucy. Aoife, what was your take on our new signings?
I mean, you can see the level of quality that they bring into the team. At half-time, we were talking about chances that Sam was creating, dispossessing the defenders. You can see them balls and then passes that Alex was creating. I think each of the players brings something different, and we expect so much of them, and that's why it's so frustrating. It would be a different story if we hadn't created any chances. I'd like to see the stats. I'd like to see the possession stats. Now, look, it's still 1 point apiece. It doesn't count for much. But if I'm a fan watching this, you know that it's encouraging.
For sure.
Yeah, and I think when we do see the stats, we'll also be able to see how many saves the Brighton keeper Walsh obviously made. We're going to have a little look at them now. She might have been the player of the match. She made some incredible saves. And, when you've got the quality of the players that we have and some of the chances that we have, you need your keeper to be on form. And she was certainly on form today. What did you make of her performance today, Meg?
Yeah, I think shot stopping, she's probably one of the best keepers in the league. If you give her the opportunity to come out and close you down like she has done in so many of these shots in the game, you've got to be fearless to be in that position for one, and she showed that today. Yeah.
With that then, because I mean I
do think some of the shots were quite direct at her, but yeah, overall I did think she had.
Off that there, because there was a couple of moments actually that you where they were so quick off the line to shut down the space. Is then the trick to try and be like, we need to take our shots maybe 2-3 seconds earlier?
Yeah, that or being clever with the ball, and as she slides out, can you cut it back to your teamate, or you know what I mean? Yeah, look,
just a little bit of composure. Like, we're looking at them chances there. How many of them just went straight at the keeper? If we're being honest. And again, it's frustrating because we know the quality of our players, and we know that in training they slot them like it's nothing. Megan Walsh was great. She's come from Yeovil, where she was the man of the match every week because there were so many chances against. So she's a seasoned shot stopper. You can't take anything away from her. But our girls, again, have to do better there.
Looking ahead then, we have Leicester coming up, and it does seem like it's still quite a positive performance, not the result that we wanted. So what do we need to do then as we look towards the Leicester game for you, Meg?
Well, obviously some of the girls are going away on international break, quite a few to England, and so as soon as we regroup, it's just about starting fresh then, and building obviously on what positive things that we've done today. We'll probably analyse the game tomorrow and then go from there and move on. Going to Leicester, like I said before, they're a new outfit, they're a professional outfit. They've signed a lot of new players, so they're gelling together like we are. So it'll be interesting on the day, but it's never going to be easy. It's the FA Cup, but yeah, hopefully, fingers crossed, our chances will go in the back of the net on that day.
And as you say, an international break coming up. We saw Phil Neville was in the stands today, of course, the England manager. Perfect place for him to come when he's watching so many of the people that are in his squad. Is it good, do you think, for us as a club to have, I think it's 11 players currently in the England squad, when you're fit, of course, Aoife, hopefully 12 as well. For them to go away now to a training camp together, will that help us as a club to keep the bond together?
Definitely. There's a sense of pride about representing your country, and so the fact that we have so many players involved with their national team is only a good thing. It's a chance to maybe get away from things and look at football from a slightly different perspective, and maybe come back with some fresh ideas. Sometimes you can get too het up and too close to a result or to the way that we're playing, and so it'd be nice for everyone to go away and then come back and reflect from different angles.
And then for you two, just because I know everyone watching also want to know, then is it just kind of rehabilitating, and then kind of, I know you're in training, getting there, and then hopefully we'll be seeing you taking part in maybe the FA Cup or the league soon?
Yeah, exactly that. We're both working with the physio and the strength coach really closely. Rehabs are so frustrating in that they're just hard to predict. It's hard to predict how you're going to progress over the weeks and the months. And it can feel like you're not really doing much a few weeks, and the next thing it's like everything clicks into place. I'd love to sit here and tell you exactly what game I'm back. And you know what? I'd be lying if I said that when I did have the surgery, I'd predicted. I'd be lying if I said I didn't predict what game I'd be back. I'm wrong, so I'm not going to make any more predictions.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, a bit of a boring answer really. It's just like more of the same. Building up, there's no magic to it, and there's no amount of willing the time to go quicker will make it go quicker. So
what will be, will be.
Exactly.
I have to say as well, it's been really interesting to watch on your Instagram. Obviously, you were putting up stories about your recovery and your operations and hopping over reindeers. It's been really nice to see. And I do need to pre-warn you as well that Kel and I got very excited when Caroline and Jill came on, because we had them on the show and we were like, oh, it's Caroline and Jill, like they're our friends. So when you guys are fit and you're back playing, Kel and I are going to get very excited, and we're going to be like,
nice.
Listen out for us. We'll be there screaming loud. It has been such a pleasure to have you both on. Genuinely, it's been so interesting, and thank you for your time. I know you kind of left a family meal and coming in and sitting with us, so thank you very much. I'm wishing you just a very speedy recovery and sending all the strength both your ways. We can't wait to see you back on the pitch. Natalie, thank you so much as always, and thank you to you wonderful people at home for tuning in. So I can tell you, We're Not Really Here is back a week on Monday for our first game of the Premier League season against Wolves. I'm going to be joined by Jolene Lescott and Sean Wright-Phillips, so we've got all that to look forward to. Please do come and join us. And just one final thing from me before I go. We've had a brand new City documentary hit our City Plus channel. Of course, you remember that wonderful one made in Gran Canaria with David Silva. Well, we have got one now called Made in Belgium. It's about one man, you guessed it, the PFA Player of the Year, Super Kevin De Bruyne. So that is an absolute treat. I've been fortunate enough to see a little bit. And let me tell you, it's well worth a watch. So go and check that out and come back in a week's time where we'll be taking on Wolves in the Premier League. Massive thank you to my guests again. Thank you, Nat. And we'll see you all soon. Check out as well manchestercity.com for your chance to get your hand on these signed shirts. I'll see you soon.
He was obviously the best player. He was always the, watch out for the blonde kid.
He has something unique, the vision that he has.
What a ball! What a goal!
That is just on a different level.
Didn't have any cars to play with. Everything he had was involved with playing football.
Dat was Kevin, zijn eerste ervaringen. Hij was bij de selectie en dat had hij afgedwongen.
It was a great time, but I also knew if I want to go further, I need to get out as quickly as possible out of Belgium.
I'm just a young player who wants to achieve or to reach that level.
His career starts because of that. Sometimes in football, when you are in a bad moment, you just realize that, come on, I need to give more.
He was very honest and directly that Wolfsburg is just a step for him.
At Wolfsburg, he went to absolute European elite level.
There was something there inside him that he wanted to come back to the Premier League.
He rejected big clubs to come to City, and I thought, okay, here we go.
De Bruyne! And his first in a City shirt, Kevin De Bruyne! De Bruyne! Oh, that is outstanding!
Kevin is the modern playmaker. For me, perfect package.
Just bow down at his feet. This boy is brilliant. Yes!
He doesn't take himself too important, even though he is so important for us, and he's just a good guy to have as a teammate, you know?
Masterclass player. He's one of the best players I ever trained in my life.
I'm not sure if you can hear that, but the City fans out there are singing for this man.
Right now, he's the best. Right now, in the midfield position, is the best.